my chest, train my mind so I forget. Sink it.
You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
We're not even talking about Wyatt, but I just feel like that today.
Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, if you couldn't tell, we're going to be talking about Doc Holliday today. But before we start, unrelated, I've got a little blind bag and I thought that I would open it just because some of my vlogs in the past I've had these and I've done them in bagging. So I think we already have this one.
Aww.
Hey, like I said, we are going to be talking about Doc Holliday, so that will certainly brighten up my day. I don't know about you. So if I look down, of course, I have notes written down just so I'll remember what we're going to be talking about today. But yeah, we'll go ahead and jump into the video. So in my last video about facts you may not have known about Tombstone, I said that we'll be going more in depth with two of the different quotes that Doc Holliday said in the movie Tombstone, and that is what this video is going to be about. So the first one is on my shirt. It's one of his most famous lines. It is, "I'm your huckleberry."
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game. I'm your huckleberry.
So there's two different sides of lore, I guess, with this. But the first thing is, if you look at it with Huckleberry, there is King Arthur lore surrounding it, which when I found that out, I was like,
of course there is.
Because with me, my 10th grade honors English teacher, who was also my 12th grade AP English teacher, was obsessed with all things King Arthur. So we had to read The Sword and the Stone in both classes. We had to talk about King Arthur and everything to death. And it sucked. I didn't like it. So when I read this, I was like, of course, it has to do with King Arthur. But there is lore surrounding this that huckleberry branches were often put on the lances of knights that were given as trophies to champions or those that saved a damsel in distress. So that's one thing that I'm your huckleberry could mean, like I'm the champion. Although I don't think that there would have been any damsel in distress. But I'm guessing that that's what that could have meant. Also, it's also Southern twang. For those of you that don't know anything about Doc Holliday, which was me before I watched Tombstone and then I researched like crazy, Doc Holliday was born in Georgia. Is it Griffin or Griffith? I think Griffin. I could be wrong, but I really think it's Griffin, Georgia. And so that's why he has a Southern accent in the movie, which, side note, can we please talk about that? When you watch Tombstone and then you see Val Kilmer in any movie and you see the way that Val Kilmer actually talks and then you hear him as Doc, like, why did he not get any kind of award for that movie? It's incredible. Like, he was Doc Holliday. Anyway, back to this. So, this slang of huckleberry made it into 19th century Southern slang. So this is why Doc would have been the one to say this, and it basically means I'm the man for this job. So that kind of, to me, makes more sense the way that he says it in the movie. So it does make it seem like he's saying to Johnny Ringo, I'm the man to take care of you for this job. Man, I wish he would have said that to me. Can you tell I like Val Kilmer? I love me some Val Kilmer. The flip side of that is that I'm your huckleberry is actually not what he said at all. I should say both of these quotes that I'm going to be talking about are based on real quotes or direct quotes that Doc Holliday actually did say. So he either said, I'm your huckleberry, or he could have been misinterpreted to say, I'm your hucklebearer. Because, once again, he was from the South. He probably had a thick Southern accent. So it may have been hard to hear what he was saying. So it may have been that he said, I'm your hucklebearer. Which, again, that also makes more sense because that means that he would have been a pallbearer. So someone who carried casket. What was another way to say I'm going to be your pallbearer? Oh my gosh, are we starting this again? Do you want to come here? Do you want to come here? Bert, come here. You want to say hi? Oh, say hi to everybody. Hi. I like to interrupt videos. Okay, lay down. There. Okay, anyway, what I was saying. Another thing that's interesting about all of this is that the pallbearers would carry huckleberry branches in their pockets in order to put on the casket as a sign of respect. Coinky dink? I think not. Basically, what this meant, if Doc Holliday really did say, I'm your hucklebearer, is I'm going to be the man to put you in your grave. Again, that also makes sense to me, even though I didn't even talk about this in my last video, I think. We'll get to that in a minute. So, if that's the case, then when you look at the actual script for Tombstone, it does say, I'm your huckleberry. So, again, that could have been those in the past that knew Doc that misinterpreted or misheard what he said from I'm your hucklebearer to I'm your huckleberry, and it stuck. But as far as the actual Tombstone script goes, it is I'm your huckleberry, because many people have said, well, maybe Val got it wrong. He didn't. He did it. He didn't. The script said I'm your huckleberry. So either way, when you look at it, it makes sense. As far as the actual movie goes, I don't know if the first time that he met with Johnny Ringo, I think it did actually happen that they had confrontations, but sad to say, whereas how we talked about in the last video, that Wyatt's triumphant killing of Curly Bill Brocius in the water really did happen, Doc Holliday and Johnny Ringo did not battle one-on-one. They never did meet to shoot out. Johnny Ringo was actually found hung somewhere, I can't remember where, but it's speculated that it was suicide. So that part of the movie was fictionalized, unfortunately. But as far as them actually meeting, I think that happened, especially since Kate, who, Big Nose Kate, the one that hung around with Doc Holliday, she had clients during that time also. She was a prostitute, if you didn't know. And to make money, she prostituted herself. And Johnny Ringo was one of her clients. Like, I was shooketh when I found that out. So, I guess that they did run into each other in real life. I'm talking about Doc and Ringo, not Ringo and Kate. They obviously...
Oh, no.
So, it's possible that he could have said that to him. But as far as the actual words, I'm your huckleberry / I'm your hucklebearer, Doc Holliday really did say those. The other famous quote, or one of the other famous quotes, there's so many in this movie, and even Val himself said that he was honored by the fact that he had so many memorable lines in this movie. The other thing that he says is a variation. It's, you're a daisy if you do. He said that. Isn't that a daisy? Comparing something to a daisy.
Yes, darling. Isn't that a daisy?
I got you now, you son of a bitch.
You're a daisy if you do. Say when. Come on. Come on. Oh, Johnny. Come on. You know Daisy. You know Daisy at all.
And some earrings. I got it good. So again, this is an actual quote spoken by Doc Holliday or something that he would have said. And what it means is back then, Daisy was a slang term. This means best in class or the best, you know. And also, in early terms, daisies were prized because they were tough. They were the toughest flower. So, in a sense, you know, he's saying, like, you're a daisy if you do, where you're a tough guy if you want to do it. It's not a daisy. It's the best outcome. So, I thought that that was really interesting to find out for those two quotes. I do want to say, though, talking about Tombstone, the Funko Pops of Tombstone have finally arrived. I don't have them yet. I'm waiting. I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm getting them for my birthday. But they have arrived. I saw Wyatt and Virgil in my local box lunch the other day. They're so adorable. They're so cute. I want them so much. But those have officially dropped. I know Box Lunch has them. Amazon did have them, but they sold out pretty fast during the pre-orders. GameStop, I know, has Doc. I don't know who else they have. But also, Doc is a exclusive at Walmart, and he also has an exclusive at Target. I think the exclusive at Target is the cup scene, where he's twirling the cup around. And then the Walmart exclusive is his outfit during the OK Corral gunfight. So I definitely want all of those. Although I'm running out of room on my Funko shelf, because if you didn't notice, I got the Office entire collection for Christmas. So that was great. So wanted to point that out. Also, speaking about Val Kilmer, he has a memoir coming out in April. I'm so excited to read it. Of course, it is called I'm Your Huckleberry. It's available for pre-order right now on Amazon. My next paycheck, I'm going to get it. I cannot wait to read it. Like, I remember when he announced it on his Twitter and Instagram, I was at my GA position, and I get alerts from certain people that I follow on Twitter. He's one of them, duh. And he was like, exciting news, and I read it. It said memoir in big letters, and I was like, so I can't wait for that to come out. I cannot wait to read it. I will definitely be reviewing it on my channel when it comes out. I may do a part 2 of Tombstone Facts, because when I pre-order the Val Kilmer memoir, there's also a book called The Making of Tombstone that they've got like some kind of special deal. You can buy the two for like a discounted price or something. But I want to get that and read it, and maybe it will have other facts that I didn't talk about in the first video. And I do know a couple of other things that I didn't talk about in the first video that I haven't talked about that I think are pretty important to know. And I'm also continuing to read the novels or novelizations of different things surrounding the Tombstone folks. I've got 3 down. I've got 1 more that I want to read that's going to encompass like some, there's still a couple more that I want to get and read. And then there's actually a book series, like a 3-part series that I've seen that goes through Doc's life, like a novel. So I want to get that. And then I'm probably going to do another video on biographies on these folks. I did get one biography for Christmas, which I was super excited to get. I can't remember the name of it. It's right there, but I'm really lazy right now. But it was written by Bat Masterson, who was around during the time of Doc and Wyatt and knew them personally. So I'm really excited to read that. I'll definitely be talking about that. There's some other books that I want to get. Definitely do want to do more Tombstone videos. I want to do videos comparing other videos about these characters, because I love the movie Tombstone, but that movie has made me, like, I've always been interested in the Wild West, but I'm really interested now in learning about all of these people, especially because it's someone that you usually don't learn about in school. So I want to share this knowledge, and I'm really excited to learn more, and I want to share that. But I'll probably be doing some other movie reviews. I do know that there's one that I want to see that Val Kilmer actually played Wyatt Earp. So I'm very anxious to watch that, to see how he compares to Kurt Russell, because in my eyes, like, Kurt Russell is Wyatt Earp. And I even talked to my mentor teacher, and she agrees with me. And Val can only be Doc. I can't see him as anyone else. So I'm very anxious to watch that. But other than that, that's where I'm going to leave this video. Of course, I will have some links in the down bar for other videos that kind of correlate to what I've talked about. I'll have Val's biography link down below. Please go order it. Go support him. He's had a rough time of it. But go support him. I'll leave his Instagram and Twitter down below. I don't think anyone else from Tombstone is on social media. I'll have to check. But just check the down bar. There'll be some stuff down there. So this is me and Penny signing off. Do you want to help me sign off? Huh? Come here. Say bye. Come here. Oh, you turned into a doodle. Say bye. Say bye. Say, we'll talk to you in the next video. This one's over. Okay. Bye, guys.